Are you guys ready? This video came out yesterday. I'm so fucking excited. Let's go.
Say for the sake of argument, you're 12 or 13, it's the mid-90s, and you're sitting across the table from your conservative aunt at a family reunion. This aunt will, a decade from now, become a tea partier. And you sweet, innocent child, brought up the subject of evolution, being too young to know it's politicized.
Time to watch a video Denims has been looking forward to. You know what that means, chat? It's time to stun lock for 40 minutes.
No, we're not gonna stun lock.
Not taken well to it. She goes on one of her classic tirades, dismissing the very concept of evolution as patently ridiculous, dropping a quote that will stick with you for ages. You can't get snakes from chicken eggs. And you do your best to explain with your limited knowledge base that, yeah, you can only get a snake from a snake egg, but that snake is going to be a little different from its parents, and the next snake will be a little different from its parents, and you multiply that by a few million generations, and you might have something very different from that original snake. Maybe something with legs, or that can breathe underwater, or see better in the dark. And your aunt stares you dead in the eye and repeats, as if you hadn't said anything, "You can't get snakes from chicken eggs." So this is an ego-saving maneuver in which a complex truth is rejected in favor of simplicity. Your aunt has a statement which is true, though non sequitur to the argument at hand. And after your explanation of how genetics work on long timelines, she repeats her original statement to herself, and it still feels true. It's the belief that the truth is easily recognized, and that it's always simple, because the world is simple, and if you can't explain it to me like I'm 5, then you're probably wrong or making things up.
That is, yeah. This shit drives me crazy, chat. This shit drives me insane. When people reject reality, it feels like I'm living in a different planet. Oh my God. Did we all live through the same childhood? Because I went through this as well. We need to start selecting for long chickens to show so that we can show them that you can get snakes from chicken eggs. Yeah. Isn't it, chat? Isn't it crazy that people don't believe in evolution? How about the people at chat? Does anyone here have like a racist aunt or like a very religious uncle or something, and they think that humans have only been around for like 2,000 years? Does anyone know one of these people? It's crazy that they're real. How are they real? How are that? What do you mean? You unironically think people have only been around for 6,000 years? Like, are you fucking serious, dude? We literally have like, I just can't. You know, no, thank God my family is lefty. You don't have to brag to the rest of us, okay? You mean like a third of Americans? Yeah. Because here's the thing, Chad. I don't think there's anything wrong with being religious. Like, if there was a higher being or like a greater being, like I was gonna say like a dungeon master. That sounded so nerdy that I'm trying to think of a different word, but I can't think of one. But anyways, if there was a higher power, okay, that created everything, that created the universe, created people and consciousness and stuff, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be like, oh, okay, sure. Got Baldur's Gate on the mind. I'm just thinking about my paladin, dude. I get Steam notifications. I just got like 3 Steam notifications of different friends launching Baldur's Gate. I'm gonna fucking cry, dude. Anyways. Yeah, that's like, I get that. I get being some type of like agnostic or something, like being like, yeah, but there probably is something there, right? Like, I believe that, you know, like, yeah, I understand. But the whole, like, I am going to follow my religion and my religion says that gay people need to die. Ooh, I don't know about that. Ooh. Like the people who defend their like abortion opinions with religion, and they're like, every life is holy. You can't have abortions. In fact, I won't allow anyone to have abortions in this country. It's like, what? 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 Oh my God, Gremlo, thank you for the raid. Oh, thank you so much for the raid. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We were talking about religion for 2 seconds, 2 hot seconds. I hope you guys had a good stream. And I was polling people in chat if anyone has ever had to deal with like religious people who hide behind their religion for their shitty actions. So like the people who go to like abortion clinics and protest and they're like, you're going to hell, you baby killer. Like those people. Or the people that think like same-sex marriage shouldn't be legal. Like those people. What the fuck, man? Like, what the fuck? That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Like, if you want to be religious, I totally get it. Yeah. But to shove that shit on other people is insane to me. It's like, if there was like a greater being, isn't it just the best thing? And they gave us this consciousness. Isn't it just the best thing to just try and be the best person you can be? I feel like it's silly that like some of the rules that people get mad at other people for is insane. Like this is a really big problem with like Muslim Twitter. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Oh, hi, Meerkat. Where like there's a lot of purity testing of like, well, are you even a real Muslim? You have a tattoo. And it's like, dude, just let people do what they want to fucking do, man. Who cares if they're a fake Muslim? Like, live your life, man. You're so weird. This is so bizarre. Mayor Cat. Mr. Mayor Cat. Okay. Funniest part is the same people would not hesitate to get an abortion the moment there's some type of screening that figures out if their future child is gay or trans. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We were just watching Religion 2. A new Jesus has been crowned. What is this? What is going on? What is happening? What is happening, dude? Is this canon? I think it's canon. Okay, back to the video chat.
This heuristic is very hard to argue with. Like, you've heard the same ant claim that the hole in the ozone layer is caused by sunspots. Now, we've talked about the mimetic power of statements that are short, quippy, and wrong, and this is a fine example. You might feel the correct response is a statement that is short, quippy, and correct. But here's the conundrum. The truth is, the hole in the ozone layer is caused by chlorofluorocarbons. Not only is that a more complex sentence, it's a more complex idea. If the ozone hole is caused by sunspots, then it's probably been happening for billions of years. It's not caused by humans, and we don't have to do anything about it. It's reassuring, and tells folks all they need to know without...
Okay, low key, I'm gonna predict what's gonna be in this video, but it was completely unintentional, okay? Completely unintentional, but this is literally the exact same thing that, like, racist people do. Like, the people who think... So race realists, for example, like, people who think that there are innate racial differences, which there are, but they think that there are, like IQ differences or whatever the fuck, which that's bullshit. Or they think that like certain people are just predisposed to certain behaviors, which is also bullshit. Like the only thing that your race determines is like basically like your skin tone, you know? And like maybe your features a little, and that's it. That's it. That's all. There are maybe instances where like certain things will affect you differently. Like for example, like if you're white, you're probably going to get sunburned. But there's nothing happening in here that's different. Inside, everything is basically the same. Aren't we all literally the same species? Yeah, yes. But like racist people do this all the time, where they're like, instead of assessing the complicated problem that we have insanely underfunded cities, that your zip code is the biggest determining factor for how you're going to live, that we have to completely rewrite like half of our fucking rules and our laws because they're racist laws, is insane. It's crazy. Demonic Apple, oh my God. Welcome back. It's been so long. Thank you for the 12 months. But I was trying to think of a good example. It had come to my mind and I forgot. Oh man, let me try and think.
I was tired of being naked in Denbo chat. Feels strong, man.
Oh, Stardust, thank you for the 15 months. Thank you. Oh, let me think. Okay, I lost my train of thought, but that's okay because I can just like kind of start over mostly. Oh yeah, there are certain things that happen a little bit more in certain people. Like I think sickle cell disease is something that happens more frequently in some people and less frequently in other people. I know that that's a thing. Or like vitamin D deficiency. I know like if you're not white, you have a way higher chance of being vitamin deficient, but that's because it takes you longer. You have to spend more time in like the sun getting your vitamin D because of like your pigment or whatever, your melanin. But like that's kind of the way that it happens. But anyways, moving back on. It's way more difficult to say, oh well, certain races perform worse than other races in our system because the system is rigged. Okay, it's based on a lot of racist laws. I remember like the same drug will get treated differently based on which type of people use it. Like marijuana being illegal, I am 100% convinced is just a symptom of like racism in the US. There's no reason marijuana should be fucking illegal. There's no reason. Like edibles are so, in my opinion, an edible, unless you're taking way too much. you gotta not take too much. It literally causes your body less damage than alcohol does. It literally does. Like alcohol will kill your liver, you can get addicted and you can't cold turkey or you'll die, you know? Also calories, you know? But like you know what I mean? Like weed doesn't do any of that stuff. If you're smoking, yeah, it's going to impact your lungs, but like edibles don't do anything to you. You know what I mean?
Implies there's a problem we should do something about. Ultraviolet light makes CFCs release chlorine into the stratosphere where it bonds with ozone, converting it into oxygen and chlorine monoxide, neither of which do what ozone does to protect us from the sun.
This is my monthly request to see Kitty, please.
Kitty is so sleepy and resting. I don't want to disturb him, but I can show you his leg. Look at his leg. I can move him a little. That's his desk? Yeah, this is his desk. It's always been his desk. Meerkat does what Meerkat wants, okay?
There may be people who can explain that more simply than I just did, but there is a floor to how simple the truth can be and still be the truth. Falsehoods don't have that. There is no limit to how simple an idea can be when it doesn't have to conform to reality. You play the game of who's got the simplest argument, liars win every time. You can't get much simpler than sunspots. But if you...
Like vaccines. Vaccines are the best example. Oh, Meerkat, do you want another stretchy? A big stretch. Big stretch. Oh, you go, Meerkat. Mm-hmm. He's sitting. He sit. Look at him. Look at him. Look at the little guy. Okay. What was it? What was it? Vaccines. Vaccines are a great example. It's like vaccines are complicated. I don't even know if I could explain how mRNA vaccines work. I forgot. I know that it convinces some part of your body or your cells to produce something. And that thing, I think it's like a spike protein. And that makes it easier to fight off the virus. That's my understanding. I don't remember the details because it's complicated and it's nuanced and it's more than just like you put juice in arm and then you better, you know? But it's much easier to tell people your body has an immune system for a reason. It can fend off the viruses. And we don't know anything about this mRNA technology. That's why anti-vax narratives are so popular.
You can convince people that the world is complex, then simplistic explanations across the board become suspect. It might be too late to do that with your aunt, but maybe there's still hope for your cousins. If you're wondering what they do when confronted with something they cannot deny is complicated, well, you did that. You or someone like you took their simple world and overcomplicated it. All the conspiracy theories and finger-pointing and screenshots they've squiggled MS Paint over, all of that is the story of how you overcomplicated the world. It fills in the gap between the simplicity of the world they believe in and the unambiguous complexity of the one in which we live. And yes, that story is at least as complex as the truth you're trying to tell them. And no, it doesn't make any sense. But that story is incredibly simple. It is this way because some people made it this way, and all the right has to do is take the power back from those people and things will be simple again. This is their version of A Wizard Did It.
So good, dude. He's so good at these. He released this one, like, I think yesterday or the day before, and he released this one the day before that. So we're watching this one as well. It's so good, dude. So good. His videos are just goated, dude. We need to, like, yeah. He's goated with the sauce, busting it down, sexual style. All right. This one's called The Slow Breakup.
Say, for the sake of argument, there's this guy. This just real abomination, total scum-sucking garbage hole, who's running for president. And conservative politicians, pundits, and voters have been laughing their asses off about him. Oh my god, he is such a disaster. He'll never get the nomination, and if he were to get the nomination, no one would ever elect him. They trot him out as a punchline. But November 8 draws nearer and nearer, and he's still not out of the game. And the left is banging on the walls like, hey, that joke you're giving free press to is saying some pretty scary stuff. And the right is like, look, don't waste your breath. We've already accepted that we lost this one. We're certainly not going to bat for this guy, so he's going to lose. And then at the last second, when they do go to bat for him, and he does win, and the left is like, what the absolute heck, my dudes? They go, can't do anything about it now. He's the president. And when, 4 years later, you finally get his ass out of office, the left turns to the right and says, okay, now that he's not president, are you going to acknowledge all the stuff he did? You know, the stuff he said he was going to do, that we warned you he was going to do, and you said we were delusional for thinking he would do, that he did? And they're like, oh my god, Heather, he's not even president anymore? How are you still talking about this? I call this one the slow breakup. It's like when your partner starts canceling date nights and then starts getting home really late and then starts sleeping on the couch, and you keep asking, hey, is there something wrong? And they just say, oh, sweetie, of course not. Work is just running me ragged lately, and when I have time off, I'm too tired to go out, and I get home so late these days, I don't want to wake you up by coming to bed. And then one day you get home and their bags are packed, and they're like, look, we both saw this coming. You know that thing. You know this happens to everybody, right?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Too real. To a real 5 me. To a real 5 me.
It's always not happening until it's already happened. The moment is skipped over where they would acknowledge they misled you, take responsibility for what's happened, or critically, where you could still do something about it. You peel your eyes for this one, you'll see it a lot. This is how conservatives jumped straight from climate change isn't happening to climate change isn't man-made. And now some are trying to jump to maybe it's a good thing. Rhetorically, all these arguments
Happy 9
mean the
months
same
DNML
thing.
is L.
We decide
Onyx, thank you for the 9 months. Flower Pew, thank you for the 2 months. I think I missed someone also. Oh, Dracoda Dragon, thank you so much for the 2 months also. Thank you guys. Yeah, this sounds like liberals to me.
decided long ago what we were going to do. Nothing you say will change our course. This conversation is over.
It's a Pepe CD moment.